They thought they controlled everything. Every move you made, every word you spoke, every thought you dared to imagine, they believed it was theirs to command. They built their world on the illusion of power, on the belief that nothing could ever slip through their grasp. They smiled as if victory was permanent, as if the game was theirs to play and the rules unchangeable. But they didn't know you. They didn't know the storm that brewed quietly inside your chest, the fire that no one could see until it was too late. They didn't know that the quiet ones, the overlooked ones, the underestimated ones are often the ones who rewrite the rules. And when they finally realized the truth, when the walls they built so carefully started to crumble under the weight of your courage, it was too late. They had already lost. You walked through their illusions, their carefully crafted control, with nothing but your eyes open, seeing through every lie, every manipulation, every plan that was meant to trap you. They underestimated patience. They underestimated determination. They underestimated the kind of resilience that doesn't shout, doesn't demand attention, doesn't make promises it can't keep. You knew how to wait. You knew how to strike when the moment was perfect, when the world wasn't looking, when their arrogance had blinded them to the inevitable. Every step you took was deliberate, every choice a silent rebellion, every success a quiet demolition of the empire they thought unshakable. You didn't just break them, you dismantled every part of their illusion, every part of their story, until nothing remained but the truth. They were not in control, you were. And now, as you stand in the ruins of what they believed would last forever, remember this. This victory is not just yours, it's a message. To everyone who ever doubted you, everyone who ever tried to limit you, everyone who ever whispered that your dreams were too big or your ambitions too dangerous, this is proof. Proof that the underestimated are the ones who become unstoppable, that the quiet ones are often the loudest when the world finally listens. You've shown them that control is an illusion, that power is temporary, that arrogance always carries the seeds of its own collapse. And in this silence after their defeat, you can hear it clearly. The echo of their surprise, the sound of their certainty crumbling into disbelief. You made them look so small, so foolish, so entirely, undeniably human. If you're watching this right now, feeling that fire inside yourself, I want you to do something for me. Take a moment, look at your hands, look at your heart, look at everything you've survived to get here. Hit that subscribe button, because this story isn't over, and there's more power waiting for you every single day. Drop a comment and tell the world what you've overcome, because your story matters, your voice matters, and the world needs to see what happens when someone refuses to be controlled. And share this with someone who needs the reminder that the underestimated can become legends. Because right now, it's not just about revenge. It's not just about proving a point. It's about claiming every piece of yourself that was ever doubted, every dream that was ever dismissed, every moment they thought they could define you. You are not what they imagined. You are beyond it. They thought fear could stop you, that their threats, their whispers, their constant presence over your shoulder would bend you to their rules. But fear is fragile, and you are made of something far stronger. You turned hesitation into action, doubt into strategy, every taunt into fuel, and they had no idea it was happening. While they celebrated their supposed control, you were quietly planning, quietly rising, quietly reshaping your destiny until it was unstoppable. You understood that power is not about intimidation. It is about clarity, focus, and the ability to endure while others falter. And when the time came, the moment that would define everything, you acted. You acted with precision, with courage, with a kind of determination that cannot be taken away. And that is the moment that shattered their world. You see, control is never permanent. It is temporary, fragile, built on the arrogance of those who believe they understand everything. But you understand something far more powerful: patience, preparation, and the ability to remain silent while building something unstoppable. You understand that destruction is not chaos, it is clarity. It is the careful dismantling of lies until only truth remains. And that is why you won. That is why they are left stunned, grasping at what they thought they owned, while the reality is undeniable. You are free, and you have created a legacy that they cannot touch. They are small in comparison to the force of someone who refused to be controlled. Every step you take forward is a reminder of what they underestimated. Every success, every triumph. Every moment where you look back and see the pieces of their illusion scattered behind you is proof of your resilience. You didn't need permission. You didn't need validation. And you didn't need anyone to tell you that you were capable. You already knew. And that knowledge, that quiet, unshakable certainty in your own power, is the thing that allowed you to dismantle everything they built. They believed in their systems, their networks, their control, but they forgot the most important truth. Systems can be broken, networks can fail, control can slip away, and the underestimated will always find a way to rise. And now, as you walk through the aftermath, as the silence replaces the noise of their arrogance, take a moment to feel it. Feel the weight of your triumph, the depth of your patience, the strength of your courage. This is your moment, not theirs, not anyone else's, and you earned it. They tried to define you, to limit you, to make you small, but all they did was shape the storm that would ultimately destroy their illusions. You have proven that no one can predict the power of someone who refuses to bow, someone who refuses to accept the narrative they are given, someone who knows that destiny is not handed down, but seized. And you have seized it with every fiber of your being. Look around you at the ruins of their expectations, at the remnants of their confidence, at the silence that follows their defeat. This is your canvas, your masterpiece, your reality. And it is a beautiful thing, not because it is violent, but because it is honest. Honest proof that patience, intelligence, and courage can dismantle the strongest illusions, and that the underestimated, the overlooked, the quiet ones, are often the ones who change everything. You have rewritten the rules, redefined the game, and reminded the world that control is only temporary. Your power is enduring because it comes from within, from a place they never understood, a place they could never touch. And now, the world sees it. You may have faced doubt, mockery, or the sneers of those who believe themselves superior. But every moment they laughed at you, every moment they assumed you would fail, every moment they tried to bend you to their will, you were preparing for the moment when you would rise, when you would act, when the truth of your strength would be undeniable. And now that moment is here. Every piece of their confidence, every assumption, every belief in their own invincibility has crumbled because you were patient enough, focused enough, and determined enough to wait for the perfect time. And that is the essence of power, the ability to act when others cannot, the ability to endure when others falter, the ability to rise when others fall. They thought every move you made could be predicted. They believed the future was theirs to shape, that their vision of the world was unshakable. But they forgot something fundamental. A mind that refuses to be contained cannot be predicted. Every plan they crafted, every rule they enforced, every strategy they believed would hold you in place. They didn't realize it would only sharpen your resolve. Every attempt to confine you, to manipulate you, to make you doubt yourself, became fuel. And fuel is powerful when it burns in silence, quietly building a fire that no walls, no gates, no systems can contain. You did not scream. You did not beg. You did not try to bend to their will. You endured. You waited. You mastered yourself. And now, in the aftermath, the world can see the result: freedom, clarity, and a triumph that they never imagined possible. Some will look at you and see chaos. Some will call it luck. Some will whisper that you simply stumbled into success. But they are wrong. They will never understand the depth of patience required to endure the unseen battles, the quiet nights spent planning, the endless questions you asked yourself while the world thought you were defeated. They will never understand the discipline it takes to walk through fire without burning, to carry the weight of every expectation and every doubt and turn it into something unstoppable. You didn't need applause. You didn't need recognition. You only needed yourself. And that was enough. That is why you are standing here now, because real power is not given, it is earned, and real triumph is not a spectacle. It is the quiet, undeniable proof that no one could ever predict. And to everyone listening right now, feeling like the world is stacked against you, like the odds are impossible, remember this: your patience, your courage, and your clarity are your greatest weapons. Hit that subscribe button, because this story is only one of many, and every day is another chance to rewrite the rules. Leave a comment and share your triumph, your resilience, because the world needs to see that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they refuse to be controlled. Share this with someone who feels small, who feels overlooked, because what you have done, what you are about to do, is proof that no one's control lasts forever. This is about more than just victory. It is about claiming every piece of your existence that was ever doubted, every dream they thought impossible, and every moment they thought they had you figured out. You are beyond all of it. There is a peculiar beauty in watching those who believe themselves invincible stumble. It is not cruelty. It is the undeniable justice of reality. They built their towers on arrogance, on the belief that certainty could control everything. But certainty is fragile, and while they were blind in their self-assurance, you were sharp, precise, aware. Every step they took to corner you only revealed the gaps in their perception, the cracks in their confidence, the limitations of their vision. And you exploited them, not out of malice, but out of inevitability. The more they tried to contain you, the more you expanded. The more they sought to dominate, the more you discovered freedom. And when their world finally collapsed, it was not chaos, it was clarity, a proof that their control was never as strong as they imagined, and your potential was never as small as they assumed. You have learned that control is an illusion, and freedom is a product of preparation, of endurance, and of relentless self-belief. Every moment of doubt they tried to instill in you was met with your own resolve. Every insult, every manipulation, every attempt to shape your choices was absorbed, understood, and transformed into knowledge, into strategy, into unshakable determination. And in this, you are untouchable. They were building prisons around you, but you were building the keys. They were writing rules, but you were writing solutions. They were celebrating victories that never existed, while you quietly crafted the ultimate triumph. That is the power of someone who refuses to be controlled, someone who knows that their worth and destiny are not dictated by others. That is your power. That is your victory. And now, as the silence settles after the storm you created, listen to it closely. Hear the absence of their confidence, the emptiness of their certainty, the quiet that follows the collapse of arrogance. That is your sound. That is the proof that patience and clarity can dismantle even the most fortified illusions. You do not need chaos to prove strength. You do not need noise to prove power. Your calm, deliberate, relentless action is enough. You have proven that true strength does not need validation. It does not need approval. It does not need applause. It needs only one thing: a refusal to be defined by anyone but yourself. And that is what you have achieved. That is why they are left stunned, struggling to understand how everything they believed in could be gone. Every moment they underestimated you. Every second they assumed they were safe. Every time they thought you were defeated, you were learning, building, and growing. And now, that learning, that growth, that silent strength has emerged as the ultimate force. You have transformed their assumptions into opportunities, their control into weaknesses, and their arrogance into your advantage. The more they sought to limit you, the more you discovered the limitless nature of your own mind, your own resolve, and your own destiny. That is not luck. That is the result of discipline, patience, and an unshakable belief in yourself. And that is why they could not see it coming. Take a moment to reflect on what you have accomplished. Look at the pieces of their illusions scattered around you. Feel the weight of their expectations, now empty and meaningless, lifted from your shoulders. Feel the depth of your patience, the strength of your clarity, the courage that refused to bend even when everything seemed impossible. That is your power. That is your truth. And now, as you move forward, remember this: no one can ever take away what you have built inside yourself. No one can ever predict the strength of a mind that refuses to be controlled. And no one can ever diminish the fire that has been lit, the storm that has been prepared, and the clarity that has been earned through every challenge, every doubt, and every underestimated moment. They thought every decision you made would follow their plan, that every dream you nurtured would bend to their rules. They believed that influence and control were eternal, that a mind could be trapped by circumstance and expectation. But they underestimated the quiet defiance of a person who refuses to surrender. You understood something they never could. Freedom is not given. It is claimed. Strength is not imposed. It is grown from the inside. Every challenge they placed before you, every restriction, every moment of doubt, became part of your education. They thought they were teaching you limits, but all they did was show you the map to your own power. Every obstacle became a lesson. Every expectation became a stepping stone. Every underestimated move they laughed at became proof of your strategy. They created the conditions for their own downfall, unknowingly molding the very force that would shatter their control. And in the silence of their disbelief, you emerged. Not as a storm that screams destruction, but as a force that is steady, precise, and undeniable. The power of patience is extraordinary because it allows you to observe, to calculate, and to strike when the time is exactly right. They never saw it coming, not because you were lucky, but because they never imagined a mind capable of this level of foresight, of endurance, of relentless focus. They thought the world was predictable. They thought people could be controlled. They thought that confidence alone was enough to dominate. And now, in the aftermath of their collapse, they realized just how wrong they were. And the most beautiful part is this: they still cannot fully understand how it happened. It feels like a mystery to them because their arrogance made them blind to the simple truth. They underestimated you. Some will try to rationalize your victory as coincidence. Some will say you stumbled into success. Some will dismiss your triumph as temporary. Ignore them. Their words are irrelevant, their understanding shallow, their judgment clouded by disbelief. You do not need validation from those who refuse to see your strength when it mattered most. Your victory is yours, built from countless quiet decisions, countless moments of endurance, countless nights where doubt threatened to break you, but you chose action instead. You have proven that power does not always roar. Sometimes it grows silently, invisibly, like roots under the soil, until it can lift everything in its path. You are that force. You are the invisible storm that reshapes the landscape without warning. And now, for anyone watching this, feeling like the odds are impossible, feeling trapped by expectations, know this: there is a strength inside you that no one can predict. There is a patience inside you that can outlast every obstacle. There is a clarity inside you that can see paths others cannot imagine. Take a moment and reflect on that power. Hit the subscribe button, because this journey is far from over, because your story, your growth, your triumph can inspire others who feel underestimated. Drop a comment sharing your victories, no matter how small, because the world needs to see that endurance, clarity, and self-belief can shatter the walls built by those who thought they controlled everything. Share this with someone who feels overlooked, because this is proof that no one can define you but yourself, and that the underestimated can rise stronger than anyone imagined. Look closely at what has happened: the ruins of their confidence, the emptiness of their arrogance, the silence that follows their certainty. This is your canvas. They believed the world could be bent to their will, that control was permanent, that their vision could never be challenged. But you understood that permanence is an illusion, and that true vision comes from resilience, awareness, and the refusal to surrender. Every failure they thought they caused, every setback they believed they imposed on you, only strengthened you. You absorbed their disbelief and turned it into fuel. You absorbed their overconfidence and turned it into opportunity. You absorbed their attempts at domination and turned them into lessons that guided your ultimate triumph. They will never forget this moment. They will never fully understand it. And that is the beauty of what you have done. You did not destroy them out of malice. You destroyed the illusions they built, the arrogance that trapped them in their own certainty, and the false belief that they could control something or someone bigger than themselves. This is proof that patience, focus, and the refusal to bend are more powerful than arrogance, manipulation, or fear. They built a fortress of control, but every brick they laid was a lesson for you. Every wall they raised was a step toward your victory. And now, in the silence that follows their collapse, you are free, unstoppable, and undeniable. The truth is, people often fear what they cannot control. They fear minds that think differently, hearts that burn differently, spirits that refuse to follow the expected path. And so they build walls, they make rules, they try to define limits. But you have shown them that the human spirit cannot be contained. It cannot be predicted. It cannot be controlled by those who refuse to see its depth. And in doing so, you have rewritten the rules of engagement. You have proved that endurance, intelligence, and quiet determination are more powerful than any temporary control. They believed the world belonged to them, but in the end, it belonged to whoever refused to be held down. And that is you.